it's Helen. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video and I wanted my first video to be about how I got into vet school. So first of all, I'm studying abroad. I was studying in England, but it's so hard to get into vet school in England, like so very hard. So I guess I'm just going to talk to you about how I found another option and I was able to study veterinary medicine abroad. So I'm going to start off with my A-levels. And so for A-levels I did biology, chemistry, Spanish and art. No, for art I did art as an AS only. So my A-levels I got good grades, but I didn't get like the grades needed to get into, veterinary medicine, which is typically like 3 A stars to like 1 A star and 2 A's. So nothing below an A really. And apart from like getting like really good A-level grades, you also need work experience in a vet clinic. It's preferably in different places. And I mean, it's so difficult getting work experience in England, especially for like if you want to study veterinary medicine, because like most of the vet clinics, they only allow work experience for veterinary students that are in like the 5th year, so like the final year for some courses. So obviously if you're 16 or 15 and you want to apply for work experience, they'll simply reject it. And so then you're kind of stuck in the middle, because you can't study veterinary medicine either because you don't have enough, you don't have the grades needed, or because you don't have the work experience. But for the work experience, a vet clinic has to give you the placement, which is like very difficult to happen. But anyway, I was able to find a vet clinic that would give me a placement. It was only for like a few days. I think it was for a week. And I think I was like 16 years old or 17 years old, I don't remember. But this was after like so much years of like constantly calling and writing emails, asking if I could please have like at least 3 days of work experience. Anyway, this vet clinic, they offered me work experience, and so I used that in my personal statement when applying for university, because in the UK you have to apply for UCAS and you choose 5 universities, and then from those 5 you only get to pick 2, so your firm and your insurance. And yeah, anyway, so I applied to a few vet schools because my predicted grades were like high enough for me to be able to like get into the vet school. But at the end of the day, like when I got my final results, they weren't like, it was not like 3 A stars, and it just wasn't that. And so anyway, I applied for biological sciences instead, because I was like, okay, if I don't get into vet school, at least I'll get into like a science degree, because of like that's literally all I've ever been interested in, like biology, chemistry. That really, I don't really like physics. Maths is okay, but science, like biology and chemistry, like is what I really like. So I was like, okay, let me do biological sciences. And so I got into university, and it was in London, and so I went there for a year. I did my first year there. I got a 2-1. It was like a percent, like I don't know, 10% off a first class, but that's okay. And so I got a 2-1 in biological sciences. And so before like the end of my first year of university, I was looking into transferring to another university anyway, because I was like, okay, this biological science degree is good, but I don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, what jobs can I get? I don't know, it was just like I didn't want to really continue that course. And so I was thinking of maybe transferring into veterinary medicine, because obviously that was what I wanted to do in the beginning, and maybe they could take my first year into consideration, I don't know. And so I obviously emailed a bunch, well, there's only like 5 universities I think in the UK that offer veterinary medicine, and so I emailed all of them, and they were like, hey, no, sorry, we can't offer you the course, because even if you like complete up to like the third year, like a full degree, they will always look back to your A-levels, and if your A-levels don't match the criteria, then they will simply reject your application. And so I was like, okay, so does that mean I can never do veterinary medicine? And so I was a bit, you know, like upset, a bit let down, because like truly that's being a vet was like the only thing I could ever imagine myself being, from like, I don't know, when I was 5. People who study veterinary medicine always have this like dream from when they were like, I don't know, 5 years old. And so, but obviously reality hits when you're around 18 or 20, I don't know, that sometimes dreams, you know, it's a bit hard in real life. Niña. Yeah, so I was a bit upset, and so I was just applying for a transfer to university to study maybe, I don't know, chemistry, because I really like chemistry, or just anything in science really. And then my brother, he found a university abroad, and obviously like living abroad, like an actual like whole course, like my family and I, we have never really discussed that idea. And so I was always like, oh, I really doubt my parents will let me go live abroad for, I don't know, like 5 years, 6 years. Like I talked to my parents, and we were like, would there be like any chance of me living abroad, or what do you think? Would it be like, could you, like, can you see that happening? And so after a lot of talking, especially convincing my mom, because my dad was like, yes, you know, if that's your dream, we will support you, you can go, all of that. My mom was like, I don't know, you know, you're my little girl, you've never lived outside of our home, so how will you like survive, I guess. But I've always been the type of person who's like, okay, I want this, so I'm gonna go and get it. And my dad has always encouraged me to be like that, also my mom. And so my brother applied for me, well, yeah, he applied for me, I didn't even know, to be honest. And I received an email from the university, and they said, okay, we have your grades, and we know that you've studied for a year biological sciences. We're going to need a personal statement, like your actual grades or transcripts from the university, and you're going to have to do a test to see if you're capable of enrolling onto the course. And so, but I only received this email like a day before I had to give the test. So I was like, okay, I haven't revised at all. I don't know anything. What are they going to ask me? You know, I had no idea. But I was in the middle of my exams for my first year of biological sciences. So I was revising for those exams. And I guess it kind of correlates with the same, you know, ideas or stuff. I don't know. So I was like, okay, I'm studying for biological sciences. Maybe it will help me with the exam they're going to give me. And so it was a Sunday, I remember, because I was in church. I was meant to go to church. And I was like, and then we couldn't go. Well, I couldn't go. My dad couldn't go because he drove me there. And so I arrived, and there was like around, I don't know, 20 other students who were applying for the same university but for different courses. Most of the people were there for either medicine or dentistry, and I was the only one there for veterinary medicine. And so we all got like placed into this room, and we did the test. And the test was multiple choice, so that's amazing, that's a good start. And so then I finished the test, and I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad, it was fairly average, to be honest. And then I had to wait for everyone else to finish their test, and they called us in one by one, and I think I was like almost the last person to be called in. So I was like, okay, I don't know, I thought it was easy, but maybe I was wrong. And anyway, so they called me in, and then they were like, first they asked me, okay, so why do you want to be a vet? Like, what is, why? Why did you apply to this university, and why is it here in England? And so obviously I wasn't prepared for an interview, because they didn't tell me that it was going to be an interview. They told me that it was going to be just the exam, and then they would tell me later if I was accepted or not. And so then I guess, scrambled on for a bit, talking about why I wanted to study veterinary medicine and how it had always been my dream. Anyway, and I think fast forward 10 minutes on of me just talking and talking, they said, okay, so you got 85% on the exam, so we're happy to take you on board for first year veterinary medicine, and please let us know if you'll accept the offer or if you won't. And so obviously I was like, to be honest, I couldn't even believe it, because I went there to do the test, but I went there thinking, okay, you know what, if I don't get in, then that's okay. Like, I didn't revise, like, I'll accept, I guess, that situation. And so when I came out from there, I was like, okay, wow, that's a surprise. But yeah, and it was a good feeling. It was a really good feeling. And so obviously I told my dad, and he was so happy. And then we went home. I think we went home, I don't remember. But yeah, so then I told my mom and my brother, and then we were like, okay, so I guess this is real now. I guess we have to make a decision. Will I actually go, or will I not? And I had never been to that country before. To be honest, I had never really heard about it. I mean, I know it's within Europe, but I had never thought about it, I guess. And so I think in April, it was April. My parents and we decided, okay, let's go, to that country, and let's look at the university, see if it's nice, see how the city is, and really think about it. So let's take our time, because we had until I think June or July to make a decision. We visited the university, and to be honest, it seemed like Niña. Hey. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? No. Vaya a sentarte ya, vaya. Oh, baby. Okay. Also, this is Niña. She's my dog. I brought her all the way from England. Yeah, and I guess she wants some attention. But... oh, you're shaking. Come, sit down. Yeah, okay. I also have a kitten, Sarita. She's sleeping somewhere. Oh, man. Okay, she's off. Okay, she wants to go out for a walk, but it's quite late, to be honest. Yeah. No. Venga acá, siéntate. We visited the university. We saw that it was a good university. The course was good. The actual campus was quite nice. It was a good university. And so we came back, and we were like, okay, so is it a yes? Is it a no? It was a long talk with my parents, the whole family. And at the end of the day, we decided that it was a good choice, that I should go study abroad. And that's what I did. So I've actually been here this is my second year of veterinary medicine now. And it's been good. I mean, it's obviously been challenging because, leaving your parents' nest for your whole life. I've never lived outside of my parents' house and so going to study abroad and actually living there for so long, it's quite a change. It's quite a cultural change, especially. I think the timeline between when my brother applied and when I got accepted and actually made the decision of you know what, I'm going to go and I'm gonna study veterinary medicine, was around 4 months or 5 months, I think. I'm not quite sure. So it was quite good, honestly. Now the bad part abroad, I guess, is that student finance does not give you any like grants or bursaries or anything like that. So it's like you get no loans, no student loans, nothing, which is kind of hard because obviously when I studied my first year in England, I got like, you know, the whole package student finance thing, and obviously it's great. But yeah, I guess that's how I got into veterinary medicine, but obviously it's different for everyone else. Some people do get the grade, some people can get the experience, the work experience, and they can actually study in their own countries. And you know, if you can do that, then it's so much better, honestly. Now for me it was so much harder, like it was so hard to get the grades that I needed and also get the work experience. And I think all of that like kind of, you know, prevented me from going to university, obviously, in England, especially because veterinary medicine is such a hard course, such a difficult course to get into. And there are only like 5, I think there are only 5 universities or 6 within the UK that actually do veterinary medicine, so it's not that much. And so much people apply, like it's unbelievable. So the chances of actually getting a place is just like, they're very slim. But for like this topic, yeah, I think that's it for this topic. And I'm going to try to make more YouTube videos. To be honest, I maybe like one a week. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna see how my schedule goes, to be honest, because like right now I'm in exam season and I'm doing this first YouTube video because I'm like, okay, I need to do something else, not just study, because it's just too much. So that's why I guess I'm doing this YouTube video. But comment, like and subscribe, I guess, to my channel. And yeah, I'm gonna try and post different videos. It's not just gonna be about education, but I do want my channel to be kind of based on education. But you will see some differences, you know. But yeah, so thank you for listening, and comment, like and subscribe. Okay.